Susan Lucci captivated us for more than 4 decades as Erica Kane on ABC's All My Children. She was the sexy, sassy, beautiful woman you loved to hate. She was, in the words of TV Guide, unequivocally the most famous soap opera character in the history of daytime television. The Associated Press reported in 1986 that 60 out of 100 students at Cal State Fullerton could recognize Erica Kane, but not historical figures like Alexander Hamilton, Geoffrey Chaucer, and Desmond Tutu. It's interesting to note that Broadway is now helping Hamilton to compete with her, but this iconic actress will always be in a league of her own. Last week, we mourned the loss of All My Children creator Agnes Nixon, who the library proudly honored as a Giant of Broadcasting honoree just a few years back. When this great writer put the script for Erica Kane into the hands of this extraordinary actress, Susan Lucci, magic resulted that has left an indelible imprint on the television landscape. And while Susan's long overdue Emmy Award for Best Actress was a historic moment in television after 19 nominations, let the record reflect that she was selected as a Giant of Broadcasting the first year she was nominated. Please join me in applauding Susan Lucci.
Thank you so much for naming me a giant in broadcasting. I am thrilled to be here and thrilled to be called a giant. No one has ever called me a giant. When I first was asked to receive this award from Joyce, I was thrilled, of course. And then I looked at the roster of former recipients, and I thought, and I said to my husband, I said, "Oh my goodness, honey, probably they have run out of people to honor." And I meant it. But then I saw the names of all of those who are here today being honored, and I knew that they had not run out of names. And what an honor it is to be here on the stage with all of the other recipients. I am so proud to be part of this class of 2016. After I accepted, Joyce made a request, which at the time seemed like homework to me. It came at a very busy time, but please to assemble some photographs from my life, from the earliest parts of my career, and so on and so forth. I am not someone who looks back. I'm sure like most of you, if in broadcasting in this room today, I usually feel like I'm shot out of a cannon going forward, and there isn't an opportunity to look back. But that was the beginning, and I thank Joyce for that opportunity. And then, as was just mentioned, something, of course, I didn't know when I accepted. A week ago yesterday, I learned the devastating news that Agnes Nixon had indeed died. And although she was along in years, she was always known as the youngest voice in the room. And I adored her and admired her. She was everything I ever hoped to be when I would become an adult. And it took me by surprise, although she had become a little bit more fragile in her physical being. Still, it came as a shock. But in this past week, I've had the honor of being asked to speak about Agnes, and it gave me a further opportunity to look back and rejoice. My goodness, the good fortune for me to meet Agnes Nixon when I was 21 years old, having been told that I probably would never work in television because I was simply too ethnic looking. But I auditioned for Agnes, and it is Agnes who is the giant. Agnes changed the face of television, not just daytime television, but she had stories to tell, as only she could, and she fought the network to ask, please, could she tell these stories? And sometimes it took years for her to get that opportunity, but she prevailed. And it's Agnes who introduced to television, to mass television. We had 60 million viewers a week. She introduced to television the interracial storylines, the stories of abortion, of domestic abuse, of substance abuse, of homosexuality and transsexuality. She introduced them through her amazing storytelling. And in doing so, she held up the mirror to our society and introduced the conversation. Introduced the conversation because the great luxury in daytime was that we were on 5 hours a week in American homes. And so she could tell stories in real time. And for me, I was the unbelievably lucky recipient of the scripts and the character name Erica. Erica's last name changed quite a few times, so we'll just call her Erica. But Agnes created this fabulously flawed glamour girl and decided to tell most of those stories through me. She did it with humanity. She did it with humor, which was another thing that Agnes brought to daytime television. Before Agnes Nixon, mother-daughter relationships, for example, were so reverential, they were more like Hallmark greeting cards. But with Erica Kane and her mother Mona, we had a 15-year-old Erica having a knockdown drag-out with her mother over the math tutor who Erica wanted to have come to the house. Erica's preparation was putting makeup on, lipstick and mascara, and the long-suffering Mona really telling Erica she should study math. But Erica saying, "Oh, Mom, what do you know? Boys don't care if girls know math." How far we've come in so many ways. Well, that was Agnes, and I was lucky. When all my children went off the air several years ago, I got lucky even in another way, which I never expected. I got to work with the incredible Mark Cherry and the characters he created, the storyline of Latina maids in Beverly Hills households. So I got to try my comedy chops and had an amazing time. I have been so lucky to have been taught by people who gave me the eyes to see and the ears to hear and recognize, oh my goodness, am I lucky to have these words coming my way. I thank everyone involved with allowing me to be part of this incredible group, to be honored today. I've been having the time of my life all this time, doing what I love to do. I am so lucky, and this award is the icing on the cake. Thank you.